When you think of Black Ops 2, what do you think of? Me, all I hear is this music. Transit was designed around things that would make it different. I believe that Transit can still be a very fun map while also being different from the maps it was designed to go against. I'm not here to argue that Transit is necessarily a good map, I'm here to argue that it is not the worst. Transit is chaotic. You are always running to catch something or you're running to grab something. There is never a time where you're at peace in Transit, and that's half of the fun. Transit was different than the other maps it was released around. You see, in Transit, you didn't have a time to rest. In between rounds, you were trying to get the bus to go so you can get to the other places. You couldn't just run around on the Kino stage. You had to be doing something. You had to be getting ammo for your gun. You had to be running to go grab Jug because the bus could leave at any time. I think that Transit is a very fun map, and it's also not that poorly designed if you know what it was going for. If you go into Transit knowing what you want and knowing that it's going to be a different experience than a normal zombies map, I think Transit can be a lot of fun. But if you go into it thinking that you're gonna get a Horizon Drac or you're gonna get an Origins, you're just wrong. I think that Transit knows what it wants to be, but failed in its execution to be that. Transit certainly has a lot more going for it than a map like Die Rise. I mean, you can fall off of Die Rise. I think that's certainly a lot worse map design than just having a bad bus. I think Transit knew what it was going for. It wanted you to always be moving around the map. It didn't want you to find an area and start to stay in it. It wanted you to have to go around, turn on the power, and then keep going around to get your perks. You had to adapt to new areas. In its current state, Transit is nothing more than misguided. It believes that the bus is a good idea whenever it clearly wasn't, and Transit believes that it's doing what it's intending to, which, to be fair, it is. Transit makes you move around, which wasn't popular at the time of its release, which incurs the amount of shit it's taken. And even now, I feel like that's still an unpopular concept. I mean, a map that makes you move around instead of having a specific place that it likes you to stay in. Now, there are certain parts of Transit that are indefensible in its design, like the boss, Avogadro, or the denizens that claw at your face. The small annoyances, Avogadro spawning in every few rounds to rape your bus and make sure it doesn't work, and the denizens clawing your face off and insta-killing you if you aren't careful enough, it sucks. It simply sucks. Now, I know I just went on a little tirade there against Transit whenever I'm supposed to be defending it, but I think that there are fair critiques about Transit, like the boss, like the denizens, that need to be pointed out. You can't be overly critical about Transit, but you also can't just blindly defend it. I personally have a lot of good memories on Transit, and I think that it is a map that is fun if you know what you are wanting out of a zombies map. Zombies needed something different with Transit, and we got that. Transit was a very different map, and it inspired a slew of different maps throughout Black Ops 2. Most of those being not the greatest, but they were at least different. You weren't getting the same map every time. When you hop onto every Black Ops 2 map, you're going to have to play differently, and I think that's a good thing. I don't think that every single Black Ops 2 map should be the exact same. Now, whether these differences are exactly a good thing is up for interpretation, but I think they overall are. I mean, look at Buried. Buried is a different map that made a lot of changes, but Buried isn't looked at as badly as Transit. And then for the Victus maps, there's the redheaded stepchild that is Die Rise, which I mean could have its own video coming depending on how well perceived this one is. But that, in short, is my little view on Transit. I think Transit was a very misguided map, but overall well-meaning. Transit did things differently. It did what it wanted to. It didn't stick to what was popular during the time. And for that, it should be commended. It isn't the same. It's a very different map. It just happens that those differences weren't taken very well by the community. For good reason, for things like the Avogadro, or for bad reason, like the constant moving map design. But yeah, that's my short view on Transit. If you like this video, please try to help me out by leaving a like and subscribing. I hate saying those cringy words, but they really do help. Thank you, and I'll see y'all later, I guess.